So there's this spot when you're on the journey and you're just following your heart and you're following the deepest sense of inspiration, and you're finding the magic, and you're tuning into this magical rhythm that sort of transcends the rational mind, the analytical mind, and you're in this flow state, right, where you're just flowing, you're just going where the moment takes you, and it's a journey, and you're on a plane and a train and a taxi and a tuk-tuk and a back of a pickup truck, and you're walking and you're in a minivan, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is the spot. This is the spot. We made it. And that's how I feel here. It's like the epic epicenter of the journey. It's like we found the spot, you know? We found it. And this is this moment of appreciation. It's just this moment of really appreciating the beauty of what is, that's here right now. And life is so rich right now. You know, it just requires us to stop and to notice. Stop and be attentive. To embrace the adventure. To be a clear channel for the instrument that we are to make music in this larger symphony. To dance with life. So I've been on this journey, started in Bali. I was in Bali for 4 weeks. Actually, I was in China, Shanghai, China for a day. Then to Bali for 4 weeks. In Thailand now. I was in Bangkok and then Chiang Mai, and now we're in a place called Pai. And I call it Pie in the Sky. It's like a long, windy road, like 4 hours to get to this place, and just kind of was intuitively drawn to this specific spot just outside of town. And yeah, there's a magic here. And the magic only exists when we take the moment to appreciate the magic, because there's magic all around us all the time. But if we're not in a state of present moment awareness, then how would we ever know? How would we ever notice? And to really be in the space of not knowing and of relaxing without trying to try, of letting go, of not needing to know, not needing to understand, of not needing to comprehend. This is the magic. This is where the magic is, when we're trying to understand, when we're trying to figure it out, when we're trying to know the how. And we lose the sense of being alive and being in tune with the magic that's here. And we open up this being in this high vibration, being a high frequency being, is really to be available, is really to be clear and open to the magic that is. It's to quiet the mind and open the heart. gratitude and appreciation come from the space of presence, of really being here now, of being present now. Got some fun names to say hello to. Ali Hassan Khan Safi. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Hubert. J.H. Chumpke. Thank you all for being here. It's very early in the morning where I'm from, the United States of America. So I don't think too many of the friends there are awake to see this live, but they'll see it later. This will be seen by thousands in the next few days. And I'm grateful for all of you to be participating, whether it's live or whether it's in a week from now, or a day from now, or an hour from now, or a year from now. So then in a couple of days I'm going to Hong Kong for the first time, and then to Japan, and then back to, actually I'm going to Atlanta then, I think is what's going to happen now. This is all fluctuating and open to evolution. And then I'm doing a 4-day retreat in Asheville, North Carolina. The Urban Mystic Retreat was just about sold out, with facilitated with John Stringer and Dale Allen Hoffman as my co-hosts. I've still been doing personal sessions while I'm here. I've been finding time to do the online course that I'm doing. You can find the links to that below. So there's this beautiful balance of being of service, of being on purpose, and being able to play and explore and adventure. It's such a rich, beautiful balance. To be able to be of service, to be able to feel like you're on purpose, to be able to feel like you're sharing your gifts with the world, and to feel like you're able to explore and adventure and play and discover. And people ask, how do we do it? How do you do it? So that feels like that's the question to address right now. Thank you, Bryant Chen. Thank you very much. The how to do it is to not be concerned about the how. That's the real trick. The way to do it is to not be concerned about the how. That's how you do it. The how comes second. You feel something that's alive, you feel the spark, you feel the passion, you feel the inspiration, you feel the magic, you feel the miraculousness, you feel a pull, a call. You feel the poetry of life, you feel the music of life. This is what I call being a life artist. To be a life artist. To make life your work of art. To make life your source of creation. The how comes second. So you feel that spark, you feel that sense of inspiration, and then you let the mind come in second to work out the how. The how is a secondary, less important aspect that always works itself out in time. When we try to put the how first, we say, well, I'd love to do this, it feels good, but I can't because of this reason, that reason. So all the doubts, all the worries, all the fears, all the reasons why it can't happen come into being. And the mind is very good at creating stories why things can't happen. If that's the vocation that we put it towards, right? The mind's also very good at creating reasons why something can happen, if that's what we put it towards. So think of the mind like a Google search engine. You tell the mind what to search for, and it'll bring up all the different aspects that are aligned with that search. So the mind works very much like a Google search engine, right? So if you tell the mind, if you search for all the reasons why you can't make a trip to Thailand, then your mind will find all the reasons why. If you search for all the reasons why you can make a trip to Thailand, then your mind will find all the reasons why. Right? So you get that clarity of what you feel called to do, what you feel called to create. You step into it, and the how will work itself out. Nobody actually knows the how. I don't know the how. I never know how I'm going to do the things I'm going to do until they actually start happening. I know in the moment. The moment reveals itself. The moment shows itself. Right? So the how is like a living inquiry. It's alive in the moment. Present awareness, right, reveals itself. Where am I going to eat dinner tonight? How am I going to get there? I don't know. But that's what makes the magic. That's what makes it an adventure. That's the fun. You see, if we know everything, if we understand everything, if we know everything's going to happen, that's when we feel dull and bored and flat and stagnant and deadened inside. So knowing everything, understanding everything is not where it's at. Where it's at is not knowing anything and not understanding anything. This is where it's at. Not from a place of being dull or dim. It's actually a place of the highest intelligence, because you're making space for the universal intelligence, the universal creative intelligence to move through you now, in this moment. When we're in a space of not knowing, not understanding, the mind is open, vacant, clear, empty, allowing the intelligence to move through us. And we don't need to know what to say beforehand. We don't need to know what to do beforehand. We don't need to decide anything beforehand. We are aligned, we are available for the pure magic to move through us in this moment right now. Take a look at my view. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Yeah, it's amazing, right? The wow of the now. So just be open, as far as how to make it happen, how to live like a life artist. I'll be sharing a lot more in details and depth, and because there's so much possible, there's so much potential possible for each and every one of us to really live creatively, to really live on purpose, to really live in a space, in a pure depth of love, to really live from the unconditional depths of our hearts, to really live with a depth of peace, to really live with a profound sense of liberation and freedom, to really live with an incredible sense of empowerment, to really live the way we've been called to express and live our lives in this world and this incarnation. It's all available and possible for us, and it's all available and possible for us right now. It can't be possible for us any other time. It's got to be possible for us now, because this moment is all there is. This moment is all there is. Mr. Bryant Chen says, sometimes it's hard to turn off the mind to the now. What would you suggest? giving you the answer right now. It's just not in words. Welcome, Nikki. Welcome, Eli Kamata. Trying to turn off the mind, trying not to think is itself a thought, right? Trying not to think is itself a thought. So, the amazing paradox, and what I'm pointing at, is there's no trying involved. There's no effort involved. So if there's trying involved, there's effort involved, and it can be in the very subtlest of ways, you know? And you bring awareness to it. And you bring awareness to it, that means there's an awareness that's not a part of that. Hi, Nancy. Good morning, everyone in America. Good morning to you all. I love you so much. Appreciate you so much. Good afternoon, or close to afternoon in Europe. It's just about dinner time here in Thailand. So it's not a space of effort. It's relaxing into the moment. It's breathing. It's noticing. It's looking around. It's paying attention. It's noticing the sights around you. It's listening. It's feeling. It's smelling. It's tasting. It's being in love with this moment. But to be in love with this moment is to be present with this moment. To be in love with this moment is to be present with this moment. An unconditional relationship with this moment. So it's so simple, you know. But we're at a space in the evolution of our consciousness where the mind's gotten complex, and we lose the essence, this infinite essence of who we are that shines, you know, that's radiant, that's luminous, shines like the big glow. We got more people coming in. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm in this beautiful place in the world. And so glad to have you with us. Just remember that there's nothing that really needs to be said. There's nothing that really needs to be done. There's nothing that really needs to be understood. There's nothing that has ever happened. There's nothing that ever needs to happen. There's nothing that ever has to happen. There's the beauty and magic of this. And everything that's happening, you know, all your suffering, all your heartbreak, all your failures, all your letdowns, it's all so beautiful. It's all happening to break us open, to destroy us to the one infinite wow, which is here when we finally let go, when we finally stop struggling, when we stop trying to make it happen, when we stop forcing, when we stop pushing, when we stop efforting, and we just finally let go, and we're blasted wide open to the pure magic of the infinite now. Good morning, Cindy. Thank you, J.H. Chumkey. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's so beautiful. We hit the epicenter tonight. We hit the spot, the apex of the journey. I would show you the it's just that the light, it's better from this spot, but I can do a little talking when you see my view as well. You know, there's also something about being in the sounds of nature that's really restorative, and it's less and less common in the world that we live in to be in the natural world, the sounds of the natural world. And these bodies are natural, right? These bodies are all natural. So they're designed to be in the sounds of nature. They're not designed to be in the sounds of chainsaws and trucks and motorcycles and jackhammers, and you know, these kind of things aren't what this body was designed to be surrounded by all day long. And it's very wearing on the system, on this biological system, right? So to go into a space where there's the sounds of nature, there's this other level of relaxation that the body eases down into, which is really restorative and healing and regenerative, and you remember. Yeah, there's actually there's a movement to have natural sanctuaries of natural sound without any man-made sound, and apparently there's very few left in the world where there's actually no man-made sound or human-made sound or women-made sound there at all. So these spaces, they almost become like sacred. They become sacred spaces to preserve as sanctuaries and to tune in within. There's a temple up here, a Buddhist temple. It's on the mountain, and the guy sings every once in a while. Kind of sings something. Not sure what he's singing, but it sounds very beautiful. Yes, it does. Touches and awakens the soul for sure. Does anyone else want to share anything? Any questions or comments? Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you, Ellie. Yeah, silence. In the silence, there's the fullness. I prefer not to say any words at all in these videos most of the time. And yet, what's beautiful is that the practice of recognizing and realizing that even with words, there's a silence that can be tuned into. Behind the words and within the words. Behind the thoughts and within the thoughts. There's this vast, wide open spaciousness that's ever present. May you feel it and relax into it, and may that be the source point of your expression. How you express yourself the rest of the morning, afternoon, evening. See you in the next